So, good morning. Happy Saturday. Hope everyone's having a wonderful weekend so far. We're going to get into 4 players that we're going to speak about this morning. Let's start off with William Saliba. Now, the meltdown has been unbelievable since it was reported yesterday afternoon that Tottenham have gazumped us. They've gone in, they've outbid us. They've bid £30 million before add-ons and bonuses, which is about £3 million more than we had bid for him. Now, for me, personally, I'm not sure whether this story is true. I'm not sure. I have no idea. I did a stream earlier on yesterday about it. And listen, there's a few ways you could look at this without having a meltdown and without thinking logically. You've got to look at all the angles on this. And then you come to your own conclusion on it. Now, that's what I've done, and I'll get to that in a minute. There's a couple of outcomes for this, right? St. Etienne just want the deal hurried up and finished, so they've put this out in the media. That could be option number 1. Option number 2 is Spurs have genuinely gone and outbid us, and they're going to fly over and have the talks with him today. That's option number 2. Option number 3 is it's already a done deal to Arsenal, and it is just absolute crap coming on the internet. So where do I sit on this? I'm not too sure, if I'm being honest. All I will say is, 6 weeks ago, I had no idea who this guy was. I'd never heard of him, literally never heard of him in my whole lifetime watching football. Then everyone's an expert on him. They've got excited, digging up the archives, digging up all the footage about him and this and that. He's the next Ferdinand, he's the next Varane. That's fine, I get it, and we're all excited. We're linked to a player. He looks like he's a very technically good player. He looks like he's a solid centre-back, destined for greatness. That's cool. Now, everyone's going mad about it when the reality is 6 weeks ago, nobody knew who he was. Is that because it's Tottenham that have come in? Or is that because just the way the transfer window's gone? Probably a little bit of both. I'm not going to lose my rag over it. And to be honest with you, straight up, I couldn't care less whether we sign him or not. That's just my opinion on it. I didn't know who he was 6 weeks ago. I haven't got it, so I haven't lost it. That's my attitude to it. Some people will see it as we're penny pinching, we're this, we're that. That's cool. Listen, everyone's entitled to their own opinions. That's what makes football fantastic, is the fact that you can have a debate with people. And at the end of it, you can see the other side of the argument. So like some people will disagree with what I'm saying, but might see what I'm saying. They might not agree with it. Some people, I might see their argument and go, mate, really? Then they explain it with a little bit of logic behind it. And then I go, do you know what? I can see what you're saying. I still don't agree. And bring a counter argument to that. William Saliba, for me, yes, he might be a very good player. Yes, he might go on and have a fantastic season next season. Yes, he might be worth 50 million by the end of next season. But for me, it's all about this transfer window, and we have to sign players for now. Yes, whilst it's great looking after the future, that's cool, I get it. That's what every club should do. They should try and actively seek to buy players for the future. At the same time, we need to be looking for now, because now is more important than the future. We're in turmoil at the moment in terms of playing staff, wage bill, players that have left for nothing. We finished 5th last season. Teams below us are spending money. It's all pointing in the wrong directions right now. Let's try and get a bit of positivity back in the club. Let's try and actively sign a player who is ready for now, that we can go, do you know what? We're now excited for the season. Or maybe 2 or 3 players, or maybe get rid of a couple of players, which gives us a boost. I don't know. But William Saliba, I'm not going to lose my rag over it. Whether he goes to Tottenham or not, we will see. Personally, I'm not so sure he is going to Tottenham. Whether he signs for us or not, like I said, I'm not too fussed either way. I want us to do signings for now. Now, another player that is leaving the club is our club captain, Laurent Koscielny. Now, he is linked with a move to Bordeaux today, and we all know what's happened with Koscielny. He spat his dummy out. He's basically said he wants to leave the club, and he had an agreement and this and that. Now he's actively trying to buy his contract out. He's linked with Rennes. He's linked with Lyon. He's linked with Bordeaux. The fact and reality of this situation is he is going to end up leaving this football club. Good riddance. Get rid. Bye-bye. Now, if he has to pay us to get out of the club, his wages are anywhere between £3.5 and £4.5 million, depending on what you believe in terms of wages that he's on. If he has to pay that to the club, I suppose that's a nice little cherry on the cake. Thanks very much. You've tried to upset the camp. You've not acted like a captain. You've refused to go on tour, but now you've had to pay out your own pocket. Yes, he'll get that back. That's cool. But he's had to pay Arsenal that money to leave. So, listen, I don't wish him no luck in life. Get out the club. You have basically took the wholesale mick out of us by doing what you've done. And I've never really rated him. And that's not just me being salty. I've never really rated him. I've always said that he's not that great. I've always said that we could do a lot better than him, and he's not in the top 10 centre-backs at the club's history. But that's just my opinion. Anyway, let's move on to Ziyech. Now, the reports going around, and have been for a couple of days about Ziyech, is that we don't want him. We've identified him, we've checked him out, we've gone into all the stats, the facts, video analysis, the whole shebang, kit and caboodle. We have gone into absolutely everything about this guy, and apparently, and it is only apparently, Unai Emery has decided against signing Hakim Ziyech. Now, where do I stand on this one? Because, listen, I'm an Emery fan. Yeah, I back that guy. I think he's a very talented manager. I think he's been sold a bad hand, but he knew what he was getting himself into when he came to the club. If that rumour, and it is only a rumour, if that is true, that surprises me, because for me, that is the typical Unai Emery player. He will work hard. He's got raw talent, yeah, unbelievable talent. He can score goals. He creates goals. And he is a team player. He would rather square it to a teammate rather than take the glory himself if it meant it guaranteed a goal. That is the kind of guy this guy is. So I find it baffling that we're not in for this guy. Now, like I said, is it the fact that it's just a rumour that's gone out there just to... Listen, Arsenal fans are so easy to trigger. You know, all you got to do is put something out there about Tottenham gazumping us for Saliba and the whole of the internet's in meltdown. Same with Ziyech. Listen, Ziyech is a fantastic footballer, one of the outstanding talents in the Champions League last season. Why should we not be in for him? There's no good argument for me not to be in for him. Yes, he might be skinny like me. He might be 5, 10, 50, whatever he weighs. Listen, that don't make no difference. That guy is an absolute baller. Very similar to Mahrez in terms of he's very slight, very skinny, very skillful. He can score goals. He can create goals. He can spin a game just like that. So there's no good reason not to go in for him. He's dirt cheap. He said he wants to come to Arsenal. If Unai Emery genuinely doesn't want him, then he must have something up his sleeve. And if he hasn't, then there's a steward's inquiry. That's my take on it. Let me know what you think about that. Leave that in the comments section down below. Last but by no means least is Malcom. Now, we've been linked on and off with Malcom all summer. This is a player that I would take. I'd take him at Arsenal, 22-year-old. I think that, like I've said previously on here, he jumped ship from Bordeaux to Barcelona way too soon. It was a move too quickly for him. And I think he's kind of regretting that now. Now, Barcelona need to get rid of some players. They need to overhaul some of their players in their squad. They've just signed Griezmann for over £120 million, which has upset Atletico Madrid. They think it was should have been 200 million. That was part of the buyout clause, and the clause changed at a certain time. I'm not too sure about all of that. I don't really care, if I'm being honest. But Barcelona are going to need to get rid of some of their players. Now, Malcom is one of them. Today, it has been reported that Everton are about to bid £31 million for him, which is a step further than what we've done. We haven't bid for him yet. Now, I personally think that... No, listen, Everton can go and bid £30 million for him. Everton are a very good, well-run football club, very much like Arsenal. And people are laughing at the fact that I've said that. We spend within our means, and so do Everton. So, listen, Everton can go and do that. We've mismanaged a lot of our money, which is why we're in this mess, but we are still living within our means. So we can't go and do the 50, 60, 70, 80 million pound bang in one hit. We can't do that because we've mismanaged a lot of our money. Does that mean that we can't go and do £30 million on Malcom? Hell no. Yeah, we could go and buy Malcom if we wanted to. Do we want him? That is the question. I want him. Some of you guys might want him. Does Unai Emery? And listen, it comes down to the fact that Unai Emery, Edu Gaspar and Raul Sanhaley They are the three men that are making the decisions on our summer transfer window. At the end of this transfer window, I will judge all three of them. Because right now, and I'm not going to lose my issue about it, but right now, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. We're on tour in America with one kid from the 4th division in Brazil. That is not good enough. We've still got players at this club that shouldn't be here. So right now, I'm not going to lose any of my rag over it. But in a couple of weeks' time, we shall see where we're at. And then at the end of the transfer window, we then judge how good our window was and where we stand as a football club and what we stand for. Anyway, I will be back a lot earlier today than 5 o'clock. My stream at 5... I do this every morning. I wake up, I don't have a coffee, and I'll get a dry throat. My stream at 5 o'clock will not be at 5 o'clock because I'll be at the airport. I am going on holiday today. Those of you that know that and have wished me a nice trip and all that, I appreciate it. My stream will be anywhere between 1 and 2 o'clock today. There will be no 9 o'clock stream. I'll be probably landed in Malaga by then. So, listen, thanks for the massive support on this channel. I really appreciate all of you guys. And, yeah, I shall see you between 1 and 2 o'clock. Laters, peeps.